What is this exception handling is? It's an event which is triggered during the execution, that is at the runtime. Okay, execution of the program, which interrupts the execution. That means what? And stopping the execution abruptly or suddenly. Okay, handling this event by using try catch or throws is called as an exception handling. Okay, so that means whenever you write a program in a notepad, okay, so you will be writing a program in a notepad, some basic program you have written. Okay, while writing the program, you will be writing some value, so means as an identifier, but saving it, you have saved it with what? You have saved it with print values. But while writing here the identifier, I have added the underscore, right? So at this time, if I try to compile the file, what happens? It will say that see, file not found. That is print underscore value is not found. So is this an exception or an error?
Error.
This is an error. This is not an exception. But sometimes you will get class not found exceptions. So when you will get the class not found exception, Dhanushri?
Like if we declare classes in other package and if we does not import that packages, then we will get class not found.
Yes. So sometimes we will be searching for the classes which is not there in that particular class or the package. Or if we have not imported it, if we want to achieve few of the things, right? So we have imported the things. So in this particular, when we were discussing about the package, in that if we have not imported that, and if we without importing, if we call that particular class, what happens? If we create the object for that class, what happens at that time? It will throw you an exception while executing as class not found. It could not, means the controller could not find the class, right? So that is what it happens. Okay, and see, in the schools, if you have not done the homework for a reason, okay, not in the schools, you will not do the assignment sometimes, right? So you'll give you some reasons for that. You will take the excuses. If you are not feeling well, you are not attending the class, you will take the excuses. If you have any exam or presentation in the college, you will take excuses to not to come to office or not to attend the class and all, right? Those are the exceptional case where you can handle the situation. It's not like that. Suppose even I have not done the proper work, there is no what to say, there is no efficiency, there is no improvement in the work, means they can like they can fire me, right? So at that time, whatever the excuses I'll give, so will it work? Is it possible to handle the situation at that point? Excusing for one day is fine, but excusing each and every day, is that fine? Will anybody excuse me? No, right? So what they do? They'll fire me. Correct. So that is what any what to say, okay, any errors or an event which is triggered can be handled, which can be handled during the runtime. Whatever the errors which cannot understandable by the controller, that can be handled using an exception handling. That is, whatever the exceptions we get, runtime errors we get, that can be handled using this oops concept. Okay, this is also one of the oops concept. So why do we need to do this exception handling? What is this try, catch, and throws? I'll explain you. Okay. Okay. Why do we need to? Why do we need this exception handling? Okay. So we go for exception handling for smoother execution of the program. Okay. We will create one folder first now. Sorry, package. Okay, before to that, we will see this, how the hierarchy of this exception. Okay. So this object class is the supermost class, right? Under the object class, we have many subclasses. These are the subclasses what we have. Okay. So under the object class, we have a throwable class. Throwable class is a subclass of the object class. For all the exception classes or errors, so object class will be the supermost class. Are you understanding this? Under this object class, this throwable class will come. Okay, throwable class is a subclass of the object class, and under this throwable class, so what type of an inheritance it is? So object throwable class inherit the properties from object class, and exception class is inheriting the properties from the throwable class, and runtime exception, input output exception, interrupted exception, remote exception. So these are the different exceptions, again inheriting the properties from the exception class. What type of an exception it sorry what type of an inheritance it is?
Multi-level.
Multi-level it is, right? So in this, under the exception class again extends the throwable class. Okay, what is this throwable? You will so this is one of the subclass, okay, named as an throwable class. You will understand it later, but as of now just remember it as an throwable class. Okay, so whatever the exceptions we will get, right, so in Java, so that has been categorized into 4 different types again. Okay, uh, this arithmetic exception, null pointer exception, class cascaded exception, index out of bound exception, illegal argument exception. All these are the different type of exception comes under the runtime exception, and input output exception, it will come under the this file not found exception. Whatever we have, this will come under this input output exception. Okay, interrupted exception and the remote exception will not get remote exception most in testing scripts, but we'll get these 3 input output exceptions, runtime and interrupted exceptions. Okay, so under this we will be having arithmetic, null pointer, class cascaded, index out of bound exception, illegal argument exception. Means the argument which we pass is not a legal one. Okay, at that time also sometimes we will get this illegal argument exception. That means the number format, whatever the input we will give, right, so that will not match the what to say, the output will not match the data type. So at that time this exception will be occurring. Okay, we will solve a one program for each of the types of the exception here. Okay, and in index out of bound exception, we have array index out of bound, string index out of bound exceptions. Okay, so are you understanding this hierarchy, how it is coming?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So for all the exceptions, whatever we get, so for that, this exception class will be the supermost class. For these things, this is the super class. For this exception class, throwable class is a superclass, and this for throwable class, object class is the throwable class. Super class. So how does the syntax looks like? As it has been mentioned here, right? So this can be handled using try catch black blocks or throws. Okay. So what is the syntax of it? For each of the thing, we will be having the syntax, right? So what is the syntax of it? It looks like this. Okay. See, we like just like how do we have the if else blocks, right? So in the same way, we are having this try catch blocks. This is also a method or a blocks which we have in Java. Okay, likewise if and else. So what happens with statement, in which statement we are getting an exception, right? So that statement will be kept inside the try block. Like whatever the logic which has to be executed, we will keep it inside the if block, right? So okay, I will write the if else also. So if the condition satisfies, this logic will be executed. Am I right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yes.
ma'am.
So in the same way, so what in which statement is interrupting the execution, interrupting the execution of the program? That statement will be kept inside the try block. How the logic will be kept inside the if block? The interrupting or the in which statement the exception is occurring, or that will be kept inside the try block. Means the controller will, if we keep that inside the try block, means what happens, the controller will try to handle it. That is why the name indicates the try. The controller will try to handle it. If it cannot handle that, what it will do, it will send it to the, see, if this condition is not satisfied, what happens, we will be having the else, right? The condition or the logic which is written inside the else will be executed if this condition is not satisfied. Am I right?
Yes, ma'am.
In the same way, if this cannot be handled, what it will do, it will send it to the catch block. Catch means what? Ball catch ಹಿಡಿಯೋದಂದ್ರೆ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ? You will hold it, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So that is what it will do. Now, this is a class name. What is this?
Class name.
Class name. So exception class is the super class for all the different class subclasses which is having the exception. Okay. So we are mentioning this class name. This is the class name. Where it went? This is the class name and the reference variable we will be writing here. So whatever the exception occurs will be kept inside the try block. If not, if it cannot handle it, what it will do, it will throw to the, means it will send it to the catch block, and in catch block it will hold that, means it will be handled in this particular class. It will go to the exception class and it will handle it inside. Are you understanding it? So if we solve a program, you will better understand in a very good way. Okay. So like whenever exception handling, why we need to handle this exception means for the smoother execution of the program. See, while giving the name, right? So please give the underscore, otherwise it will take this particular class name. It will be considered as this arithmetic exception class. Okay. Always make a changes, give the underscore in between, or give the small letters somewhere in between, or the big letter in between. Make a changes in that. Okay. Okay. So now, here the execution of the main method starts. Am I right? So it will start its execution. So I will declare a variable as int a is equal to 10, int b is equal to 20, int c is equal to 0. Okay. So inside the printing statement, I will be having a expression as a plus b. Okay. And a minus c b divided by a. C divided by Okay, A divided by C. C divided by B. Okay. So if I run this program, what happens? See, at the compilation time, it is not throwing you any error. So syntactically, whatever the program we have developed here, it is right on. Am I right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So what happens? The execution starts from the main method, as we know. It starts its execution. Okay. So the main execution will end here. Okay. So we have initialized the variables with our integer values for A, B, C respectively. And we have few expressions to be printed as an output. So first statement is a printing statement saying that main method starts. So that is what it is printing. After that, A plus B. A is 10 and 20. 10 plus 20 is 30. That is what we are getting. A minus C is 10 minus 0. That is 10. B divided by A. B is 20 and A is 10. So 20 by 10 is 2. Right? So that is printing. And now here at the 13th line, what is the expression? It is A divided by C. That means 10 divided by 0. Anything by 0 is what? Infinity. Right? So that is not defined in Java library. So what it is saying? Exception in the thread main. So this is the main thread what we are having. Okay. So we are having the exception that is in the java.lang package. So this object class belongs to this package, right? So under this we have an arithmetic exception class. It comes under that is divided by 0. Divided by 0, that is A by C means 10 divided by 0, which is not acceptable or system cannot understand it what has to be printed. So we are getting this exception at which line? At the 13th line is what it is saying. But it is not interrupting the execution. It is not interrupting the execution up to this statement, right? It's the execution is going smooth in a smoother way. Am I right? Are you understanding this? What I'm trying to explain?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So what happens? Controller will execute the program up to this statement. Okay, it is printing 2 also. After that, when the controller reads this line, when controller is at this point, so it could not understand it. So what happens? The execution stops here. What happens? The execution stops here, right? That is what the exception means. It is an event triggered during the execution, right? The abnormal statement which will stop the execution abruptly. So that is called as an exception. So it can be handled using try catch block. How do we do that? So now this statement is creating you the exception. So what we do, we will be creating a try catch block. Okay, right. Catch block. So what type of an exception it is we are getting? What it is saying? It is an
Arithmetic exception.
arithmetic exception, right? So either we can give the exception, that is the superclass, but also you can give a particular. If you know what kind of an exception you are getting, you can name it. Otherwise, if you don't know what kind of an exception it is, while writing the script, if you really know the what will be the return type, what type kind of an exception it occurs if we could not find the elements, so at that time you can specify the particular exception class. Otherwise, what you have to do, just you need to write it as an exception. This is a super class for all the subclasses. Exception class is a super class for all these subclasses. Do you understand why we are writing here? So this is also a class. Arithmetic exception is also a class. We are telling the controller that go to this class and handle this. That is what we are saying the controller. Okay. So whatever the exception we get here, right? So if it could not handle it, it will send it to the catch block, and at the catch block, again, what it will do, it will send it to the arithmetic exception class. So E represents what? Here it is a reference variable which will store the exception what we get here. So this will be stored in this variable E. Okay. So once it is handled, we need to give a message that it is not happening, means exception has been handled, right? So we can print a message saying that exception handled. Okay. Now, if I run this program, yeah, am I able to get the output without any interruption? Am I
Yes,
getting
ma'am.
any exception now?
No.
No, right? So it is handled in the try catch block. Say means in the arithmetic exception class, it will be sent to the arithmetic exception class. In that class, it will be handled. Okay. So we are saying the means we are sending the message even as the exception what we got that has been handled. Okay. After that, whatever the printing statement or whatever the logic we have written that has been executed here, if the exception has handled, then it will continue the execution until the end of the program. Otherwise, it will stop executing the program at that particular statement, abnormal statement. Are you understanding this?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So this is what called as an exception handling. Okay. All the so what how do we do that? All the abnormal statements should be developed in the try block and address them in the catch block. So what we are doing, we are keeping the abnormal statement inside the try block, and what type of an exception we are getting that has been addressed in the catch block. That is what we have done now. Correct? Am I right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. We cannot develop any statement between try and catch block. Why? We'll see that. We'll try to have any other statement in between try catch block. So this is the try block what we have, right? So I'll try to have the printing statement between the okay, what it is saying, see? Syntax error, invalid record header name means between the try catch block we cannot have any statement. Okay, clear everybody about this point, why it is so, what it will, what happens if we have any statement in between try catch block, right? So once the exception occurs in the try block, the further statement of the try block will not get okay. So what you do, so you copy down this program first. In a single program, if I explain all the things, you will get confused. First copy it down. Once it is done, please let me know. Okay.
5 minutes later.
You will be done with copying.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So once it is done, please let me know. Okay. So the next thing is that we cannot develop any statement. Okay, this is done. So once the exception occurs in the try block, further statement of the try block will not be executed. That means, see, okay. So we will have the particular printing statement here as what? Just as A plus B will have. Okay. Even inside the try block. Okay. Okay. See, this statement is getting printed, but here at this particular statement, the exception is occurring, right? So once the exception occurred, the controller will jump to the catch block. It will not execute the further statement which it is having after the statement which where the exception is occurring. Okay, this is what that statement means. Okay, so for one try block, there should be one mandatory catch block. That means without the catch block, this try block will cannot be there. Okay, just like but we can have only the ifs block. Without else block also this if block will work, right? So but this is not like that. It's like a pair. Okay, try catch block will be working together. Without catch block, this try block will not work. So I'll just comment this line, see what happens. See, it is throwing an error, right? Syntax error. Insert finally to come either we have to insert the finally or we have to insert the catch block. So as of now, you just remember about the try catch. So what is this finally and all? You will understand it later. But as of now, this is only the thing that we need to have the try catch block together. Okay. So for one try block, we can have more than one catch block, but only one catch block will get executed. That means what? Okay, we will see that. So next we'll see one more type of an exception. Okay, null pointer exception. Okay. So again, I'll not write the mean starts, mean ends and all. You know where it starts from and all. Okay. As it was the first program I have written. Okay. So now what I do, I will be I'll be creating an object. Sorry. I'll be creating an object for the class which I have now. Okay. Even though I'm not having any non-static methods, just I'm creating an object. Okay. Now, if you try to print, so now tell me what will be the return type for this? So what will be the return type for this now?
Integer.
Integer, right? So if I run this program, so if I try to print the hash code of the particular reference variable which I have created for the class, so it will print you the hash number, that is the unique integer number, right? So intentionally what I do, I will be assigning or reinitializing the value for this. Now, this value has been stored inside this, okay? Or the object address will be stored inside this reference variable. Now, what I'm doing, intentionally, I'm creating or I'm assigning the value or making this value as null. Okay. So after that, again, if I try to print this, see what it is giving now, what it is saying in the thread main, this belongs to Java line null pointer exception class. Okay, it cannot invoke the object dot hash code method because this exp, the reference variable, is a null value. What it is? It's a null value. That is why we are getting this null pointer exception. Are you understanding this?
Yes.
We are pointing the address of this particular object to a null, or we are making the address of this as a null. Intentionally I have done this, but sometimes if without creating object or like the object you have created for the different class, but you are trying to get the address of the different class, at that time what happens, there will be a mismatch, right? So you will be end up with a null pointer exception. You could not find that pointer, that address, so you will end up with this. So now how to handle this exception? Now you know how to handle it, right? So the statement will be kept inside the try catch block. So what kind of an exception it is? It is a null pointer exception. Am I right? So I can give A or E, any variable you can give. Okay. So again, once it is handled, we should give the message that the exception which has occurred is handled. Okay. This is handled. Yeah. So when okay. So this is how the null pointer exception, you got it now. So for one try block, we can have more than one catch block is what it is saying. So for one try, there should be one catch, the pair. Okay. But if we have the multiple catch block, any one of the catch block will get executed. That means, see, to the same program, what I do, okay. Before to the statement, uh, okay. So, will it throw you an error or any exception, or will it give you the value? It will give you the value, right? So, what if we have this arithmetic exception in this try block? Now, again, what happens? This exception has occurred, but there is no catch block to handle it. We have the catch block, but it can only handle the null pointer exception, not the arithmetic exception. Am I right? So at this time, what happens? What we have to do is that we need to have one more catch block saying that this arithmetic exception, for to handle the arithmetic exception also, we will be having the one more block. Okay, E also is fine, anything is fine. So what I say here is null pointer is handled. So here what I say, arithmetic exception handled. Okay. So what happens if I run this program now? First, what type of an exception it is occurring? Here it is occurring the arithmetic exception, right? So it will go to the particular catch block where it can handle that exception. Okay. If not, now what kind of an exception will occur in this program now?
Point exception.
Yes. So what kind of exception will occur here? Null pointer exception will occur here, right? So if I run this program, see, so 1 divided by 10 will be in a decimal form, but both are in the integer format. That is why we are getting it as 0. So 0.0 if I give and run the program, it will give you the proper value. Okay. But so here it is not occurring, the exception has not occurred in the statement. Here the exception is a null pointer exception has been occurred. So it will go to the corresponding catch block. So we can have the multiple catch block, but any one of the catch block will execute at a time, because any one exception can be handled at a time. Okay. Are you understanding this? Have you
Yes,
understood
ma'am.
this?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So the statements mean that. So execution. So for one try block, we can have more than one catch block, but only one catch block will execute it. Why? Because any one of the things can be handled at a single time. Okay. Both of the things has to be handled means we need to have two try blocks and two catch blocks. Okay. Understood, everybody?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Please copy it down.
A few minutes later.
So execution class is a superclass which can address both checked and unchecked exception. This means, so in which class we will be executing, like which class will be executing the program of which class, right? So that can be addressed both unchecked and checked exceptions. What do you mean by this checked and unchecked exceptions means? See, okay. So these will come under the unchecked exceptions, that is runtime exceptions. What are this arithmetic, null pointer, index out of bound, these many what we have, right? So these will come under the unchecked. This cannot be checked, so we don't know. But checked exceptions means, see here, input output exceptions, this we can check, right? So before executing the program, and interrupted exception also we can check all these things. So this will come under the fully checked exception classes. Okay. So what is the difference between this exception and this errors? Hello.
Exceptions are,
Hmm.
it cannot be handled by the system. So errors are made by mistake or syntax error.
Exception cannot be handled now. Exceptions can be handled. Errors cannot be handled. It has to be resolved.
Yes,
Hello? Yes. So all exception class belongs to this java.lang package only. Okay. So once the exception is addressed, we cannot address or readdress. If we try to do that, then we'll get the compile time error. So that means what? Once it is addressed, right? So we have addressed in the catch block. Again, if I try to readdress it again, if I have the null pointer exception one more time, so what it will do? It will throw you an compile time error is what they are saying. Okay. Exception class can address all the subclass exception, which is either compile time or runtime, but we can develop, so it can be handled. We can develop try catch block, finally block, or try finally block. So what is this finally block? You will understand it, but an exception can be addressed in two ways. One is try catch and another one is using the throws keyword. So this throws is also a keyword which is used to handle the exception. Why it is used? It is used to handle the
Exception.
exception. Okay. So before to that, we will solve few more exceptions which we have. Okay. Okay. Array index out of bound exception. Okay. What do you mean by that? Array index out of bound means what? How do we declare an array? How do we declare it?
First data type,
Okay. So I'll take integer type of data. Okay.
brackets, big brackets,
Hmm.
array name,
As what I'll take? I'll take it as array. ARR only.
equal to
Equal to.
new int,
Okay. So we'll not go for it. So directly we will assign the value like this. Okay. So what I do, I will add few values. Okay. How many values has been added in this? How many elements are there in the array?
Five elements.
5.
5 elements, right? So how to find out the length of an array?
Array dot
Array
length.
dot length.
Dot length, correct? So what is the written type of it? What it will return?
Integer.
The length of an array in the integer form. Am I right? Yes. So when we have 5 elements, the index value will be up to 4. Am I right?
Yes, ma'am.
So now what I do, I'll try to print the second index element. What I do, I'll try to print the second index element. So that is the value of it is 6. Okay. So after that, I'll try to print the fourth index value. Sorry. What is the fourth index value? 34 is the value. Okay. Now, what if I try to print the fifth element, fifth index value? Is it possible to print that?
Array out of the index.
No, ma'am.
So we will end up with an exception. So there is nothing to print. So what it will print, right? So that is why it is saying it is array index out of bound exception. So index 5 out of bound of the length. The length is 5, then how we can print the fifth index value, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So now how to handle this? Through
Try and
catch. Okay. So now, am I able to handle this exception, what it is occurring? Mm-hmm.
Yes, ma'am.
yes, ma'am.
Okay. So where it is used in Selenium, you will be having the drop down, right? So you will get the elements of it. You don't know how many elements is there. So what you do, you will be trying to fetch the data of the index which is out of the like out of the bond. Okay. It is not there means what you will end up with? You will end up with an array index out of bond exception. So at that time, what you have to do, you need to handle it using this try catch block. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Copy down this.
A few moments later.
Done. We'll move on to the next one.
Yes, ma'am.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So the next one is that string index out of one exception. So what is the string index out of one? So I'll be having the string value yes is equal to okay. So this is what the string I have taken as an input. Okay. So if I try to print the string, what will be printed? What it is printing? Yes.
Karnataka.
As Karnataka, it is printing. Am I right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So in the string, right? So if I want to, so print the character at the particular index to print the characters. So we have the inbuilt methods. It is called as okay. So char at the particular index. Are you understanding this? So how many characters are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So up to index number 8, we will be having the values. Am I right?
Yes, ma'am.
If I try to print, okay, character at the fifth index, what it will print? What it is saying? It is giving you the string index out of one exception because the length is 9, but the index value will be up to 8. If you print up to 8 index, you will get the output. Otherwise, you will end up with what? The string index out of one exception. That means it is out of the boundary is what it is saying. Okay. That's it. Nothing else. Okay. Then how do we handle this? Using the,
I can.
again, using the try catch block. Mm, mm, mm. So this is how do we again handle the exception. Are you understanding it?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So it's a simple thing, but you should know how to handle it with statement to keep inside the try block and what has to be written here in the catch block. That's it. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Copy down. Done.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So next is that we were saying that the finally block, right? So what do you mean by that? So finally block is a block in exception handling. Okay, it can only be written in the exception handling. Okay, used in the exception handling, which will get executed mandatorily, even though the exception is addressed or not. It will the whatever the logic which we write inside the finally block, right? So that will get executed. So we can have try catch finally block or a combination of try finally. Okay, without the catch, if we have the finally, it's also fine. But this finally block will get executed mandatorily. So how it is, I'll show you that. Mm, mm. Guys, are you feeling bored?
Oh, ma'am.
Okay. So here what happens? See, directly we will have the statement saying that 2 by 0. So this will create an arithmetic exception. Am I right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So to handle this, we need to have the try catch block. In the catch block, we will be having the particular exception. So if we have a program, Okay, it is throwing you an error. So I have handle is what it says, okay, in the catch block. But after this, if we have the finally block, right? So the finally block will looks like this. So finally, what it will do, whatever the logic which we write inside the finally block, right? So that will get executed if this exception is handled or not. How? I'll show you. Okay, I will execute. Sure. Okay. So now it is the exception which is occurring is handled in this arithmetic exception catch block exception class. So so what it is saying, I have handled, and the finally block will get executed mandatorily, that we know. Okay. So what if we have now? You tell me the exception which is occurring here can be handled in this catch block. Will it get handled? Right? So even though if it is not get execute or handled, this, so we are getting the interruption here and it is not handled, then the controller should not go further and execute the further statements, right? But if we have the finally block, it will mandatorily execute the finally block. This is what this meaning. So what it is saying, finally block is a block in the exception handling, which will get executed mandatorily, even though the exception is addressed or not. That means it is handled or not, even though if it is handled or not, this finally block will get executed. This, what to say, this exception is not handled, but this particular block has been executed. Am I right? This is how the finally block will work. So where it is used, I'll let you know. So please copy down this program soon. So we'll solve one more program so that you will understand it in a better way. Okay. Copy down this soon. Done with copying.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay. So where it is used, this finally block. Anybody know about this?
No idea, ma'am.
Okay. So so in the Amazon or Flipkart, there will be a sale, right? So the Big Billion Days a sale or particular what to say, flash sales will be going on, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So at that time, what happens? You will be uh, trying to book a product in an application. Okay. So what you do? So some is going on. Okay. When the flash sale is going on, so yeah, you will be trying to book the product. What you are doing? You are trying to book the product. Okay. The product. Fine. So once you book the product, so you will be doing the payment online. Okay. So once you add the product to the cart, it will next it will navigate to the payment page. Am I right?
Yes, ma'am.
So it will be navigating to the payment page. So if you are using the Google Pay or Phone Pay, whatever it is, to that particular application, it will be navigating. So I'll take the example of Phone Pay. Okay. So in this, I'll just have the static method as is run. Okay. So what happens once you tap on payment option? The payment gateway will get open. Am I right? So now what happens? I need to call this run method means what is the syntax here?
Run.
Run. Dheeraj, you were saying something?
Yes, ma'am. Same. Run. Call the using
Yes, it is
class.
between the classes. If it is in the static context, then what we have to do, we need to call the class name dot the method name. That is the syntax, right? If it was a non-static method, we need to create an object and then we need to call the method.
Object.
Correct? Yes. So if I book the product and try to do the payment, it will be navigated to this particular application now, right? So the flow I am writing as how do we do it? Okay. So once the application, so once the controller has navigated to this application, that is any of the payment application, so the payment gateway will get open. Agree? It's open now. So what do you mean by this payment gateway? Do you aware of us of this? Anybody here? No?
Ma'am,
Yes, please
the
respond when
timer,
I ask you something.
so timer it will navigate to Phone Pay app.
It's not the timer actually. Bhumika? What is this payment gateway? Anjaneya, you have you people have attended the API classes?
Yes, ma'am.
Bhumika has not attended the API class.
No, ma'am, not yet.
Anjaneya has attended the API class.
Yes, yes.
Yes. Then what is this payment gateway? Tell me.
Ma'am, the page where we will get different UPIs, like UPI, like Phone Pay. You will
It's
get an
not.
option. That is all.
See, that is not the front end thing. The API will get called when you open the or when you tap on the gate application when you try to do the payment. So for each of the application behind the APIs will get called. You are everybody aware of this, right?
Secure gateway.
Sorry.
Secure. If you navigate securely to the other application.
Yes. So the for the particular operations, the APIs will be developed. So that is the job of a developer, right? So here we have few of the developers, right? Hamu, you are into development?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So how does the APIs will be called? Why it is used? Janvi, Raghavendra?
Ma'am, to
Yes, ma'am.
interact with
Yes, Raghavendra.
Ma'am, to interact with the back-end logics,
Hmm.
we use APIs. ma'am.
We use APIs, correct? So,
Yes, ma'am.
so this payment gateway will open when we do the payment. Not only at this time, whenever you do the payment, right? So the payment gateway will get open. That is the security what the application will give you. Understood? So once the payment gateway is open, you will be trying to do the payment, but the server will be down. ಆ ಟೈಮಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ತುಂಬಾ ಜನ ಬುಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೇಲ್ ವೆನ್ ದ ಸೇಲ್ ಇಸ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಆನ್, ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಫೇಸ್ ದಿಸ್ ಇಶ್ಯೂ. ಪೇಮೆಂಟ್ ತುಂಬಾ ನಿಧಾನಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗತ್ತೆ, ಬುಕ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ನಿಧಾನ ಆಗತ್ತೆ, ಕರೆಕ್ಟಾ? ಹಲೋ.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So you have ordered a few products. ಯಾವ್ದಾದ್ರು ಸೇಲ್ ಈ ತರ ಇದ್ದಾಗ ಅಥವಾ ಬಿಗ್ ಬಿಲಿಯನ್ ಡೇ ಸೇಲ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ದಾಗ ಅವಾಗ ಏನಾಗತ್ತೆ, ಸರ್ವರ್ ಡೌನ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಒಂದು, ನಿಮಗೆ ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ ಓಪನ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ. ಓಪನ್ ಆದ್ರೂ ನೀವು ಬ್ರೌಸ್ ಮಾಡೋದ್ ಬೇಗ ಯಾವ್ದು ಸಿಗಲ್ಲ. ಅಥವಾ ನೀವು ಕಾರ್ಟ್ಗೆ ಆಡ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಪೇಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ತುಂಬಾ ನಿಧಾನ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅದು ಪೇಮೆಂಟ್ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಆಗೋಕೆ. ಹೌದಲ್ವಾ? ಸೊ ದೀಸ್ ಆರ್ ದ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ಸ್ ವಿಚ್ ವಿಲ್ ಹ್ಯಾಪನ್. ಸೊ ಅಷ್ಟೊತ್ತಿಗೆ ಈ ಫ್ಲಾಶ್ ಸೇಲ್ 1 hour ಅಥವಾ 2 hours ಕೊಡಿಸ್ಕೊಂಡಿಯಾ? ಸೊ ವಾಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಪನ್ಸ್ ಅಟ್ ದಟ್ ಟೈಮ್? ಪೇಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ ಆಗ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಂದಾಗ, ಸಪೋಸ್ ಆ ಸೇಲ್ ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಆ ಸೇಲ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಏನಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಫ್ಲಾಶ್ ಸೇಲ್ ಟೈಮಿಂಗ್ಸ್, ಅದು ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಅಂದಾಗ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಯು ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಅಗೇನ್ ನ್ಯಾವಿಗೇಟೆಡ್ ಟು ದ ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್. ದ ಪೇಮೆಂಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ನಾಟ್ ಬಿ ಡನ್. ನಿಮಗೆ ಒಂದು ಮೆಸೇಜ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಇಫ್ ದ ಪೇಮೆಂಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಡನ್ ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ರಿಟರ್ನ್ ಟು ಯರ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್. ದ ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ರಿಟರ್ನ್ ಟು ಯರ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ ಇನ್ ದ 3 working days, ಸಮಥಿಂಗ್ ಲೈಕ್ ದಟ್. ಯು ವಿಲ್ ಗೆಟ್ ಅ ಮೆಸೇಜ್. ಹೌದಲ್ವಾ? ಸೊ at that time, even without closing this application, this gateway has to get closed. Otherwise, the hackers will hack the account and they can draw the money. That is why the payment gateways is used, the APIs is used in the backend for the security purpose also, one of the reason. Am I right, Raghavendra?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So what happens this time? So there will be a server or a network issue. You could not do the payment, but the controller or the when you could not do the payment for more time, what you do, you will navigate back to the application to try it out. So that is the error or the inconvenience which is happening with where you could not do the payment or and book the product. Okay, so that if we considered it as an exception, so it has to be handled. How to handle this exception now?
Try catch.
Using the try catch. So we don't know what kind of how the exception will occur. I don't know, but just what I do, I will be creating the, okay, what I do, I'll just copy this. So some kind of exception where so this exception is occurring. So we'll write a statement that exception kudikan. Okay, so once the exception has occurred, we need to handle it. If we has not handled it, then this gateway will not get closed. Am I right? Here, if I write the logic in the catch block, once the exception is handled, then only the gateway should get closed. Means if this exception is not, we are not able to handle this exception, means what happens? We could not close the gateway. Okay, we are at the risk. Am I right? At this time?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So how the developers will write the program means, see, so inside the finally block, they will be writing a code to close the payment gateway. To close the payment gateway, the developers will write the code in the finally block. That means even you have done the payment or not, if you have closed the application or not, if any error has been occurred there or any exception has been occurred there, if it is handled or not, if it is resolved or not, this gateway will get closed mandatorily. In this cases, this finally block is used for the security purpose, for the data purpose. See, if you see, sometimes when you try to fetch any data, maybe, okay, uh, when it is when you try to apply for any exams, right? So online application, you will be filling out the online applications, you will be entering the data. So in between, either the power will be gone or the Wi-Fi will be gone, or you will be searching in the document, in search of the document, you will just pause the filling the application. So session timeout anta agate, and that particular thing will come out of it. For ಮತ್ತೆ ಮೊದಲಿಂದ ನೀವು ಫಿಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾಗತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ದೇರ್ ವಾಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಬೀನ್ ಡನ್, ಸೊ ಅಷ್ಟು ಟೈಮರ್ ಅಂತ ಇಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ಅಷ್ಟು ಟೈಮ್ ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಅಕಸ್ಮಾತ್ ಅದು ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ ಸಬ್ಮಿಟ್ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಫೈನಲಿ, ಸೊ ದೇ ವಿಲ್ ರೈಟ್ ದ ಕೋಡ್ ಇನ್ಸೈಡ್ ದ ಫೈನಲಿ ಬ್ಲಾಕ್ ವೇರ್ ಇಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಟು ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ ದಟ್ ಸೆಷನ್ ಫಾರ್ ದ security purpose. That might be the money security or the data security. And few of the database will, so we will be having the access to the database to fetch any data. Employee details na fetch ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಹತ್ರ credential authorizations ಇರುತ್ತೆ. Okay, credentials ಇರುತ್ತೆ. Okay, now you are an authorized person, you will be having the credentials, but that credentials, that tokens will work only for a particular time. After that, it will get closed. Again, you need to provide the credentials to fetch the data. ತುಂಬಾ ಹೊತ್ತು ಆ ಡೇಟಾನ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಆ ಒಂದು ವೆಬ್ಸೈಟ್ ಅಥವಾ ಸರ್ವರ್ ಅಥವಾ ಡೇಟಾಬೇಸ್ ನ ನೀವು ಆಕ್ಸೆಸ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ಬಿಟ್ಟು, ಸೊ ಅಟ್ ದಟ್ ಟೈಮ್ ವಾಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಪನ್ಸ್, ನಾನು ಇವಾಗ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಓಪನ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಕ್ರೆಡೆನ್ಶಿಯಲ್ಸ್ ನ ಕೊಟ್ಟು ಯಾರ್ದೋ ಡೇಟಾ ನಾನು ತಗೋಬೇಕಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಓಪನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಹೋಗಿರ್ತೀನಿ. ಓಕೆನಾ, ಆ ಕೆಲಸ ಏನೋ ಯಾರೋ ಕರೀತಾರೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಹಾಗೆ ಎದ್ದು ಹೋಗ್ತೀನಿ. ಅಂಡ್ ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ಫ್ಯೂ ಮಿನಿಟ್ಸ್ ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಆಟೋಮೆಟಿಕಲಿ ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಲಾಗ್ ಔಟ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ದಟ್. The logic will be written in the finally block. Mandatorily, if we are working or not, it will be having a particular time, right? So it has to close that gateways for the data security. Are you understanding where it is used now? This finally block?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. See, this exception, arithmetic exception is not handled, but okay, what it is happening? See, the flash sale is going on. You are trying to book the product, the payment. So once you try do the payment, so it will navigate to the application, and in behind the payment gateway will get open. Okay. So at that time, some error has happened, some glitch has happened. There is no network or an power cut is there. So that is why you could not do the payment. We could not complete the payment. Okay. At that time, what you do, you will again navigate back to this application. You will not close this application completely, but behind it has to close the payment gateways. So even though this has not handled, even though you have not closed the application, you have not resolved the problem, this gateway will get closed, means that finally block will get executed. Understood? Everybody clear about this?
Yes, ma'am.
Any doubts?